Hello, and welcome to what seems to be a very interesting and unique back to school evening. I am Mrs. Kane. I am your child's 10th grade English teacher, and I want to take this opportunity to just give you a brief overview of some of the expectations and policies and workings of our classroom. So the best way to get a hold of me really and truly is through email. I have the ability to quickly step away, answer an email if students are working independently. Leaving a voicemail is really not all that effective. Although I always teach from my classroom, I can't guarantee, which is where I'm at now, I can't guarantee that that will always be the case. And I can't guarantee that I can get back to a voicemail in a timely manner, but certainly through email. You also might want to join your students' Remind app to receive important reminders in the form of a text message. So here are the various class codes. So make sure that you're selecting the correct class period. So make sure that you do have the accurate information. You're going to text to the phone number 81010, whatever your child's particular class code is for the Remind app. What's great about this is it comes in the form of a text message directly to your phone and your child's phone. Typical things that I might send out in a Remind app would be reminding students to study for a test. I can also have the ability to add and attach files. Recently, I just sent out an announcement to tell students that I was upgrading grades and that not to panic right now because I was sort of organizing and setting up the grade book. So things might be changing. So I highly encourage you to sign up for that. Okay, course policies. Attendance. I'm sure you've heard this, but attendance, in order for your child to be considered present, they have to be there and on camera. So that's kind of a big thing. I know they don't always want to be on camera, and there will be opportunities where I will allow them to turn it off. Late work in my class. Students are allowed to turn in late work, but only within the 5-week grading period by which it was assigned, so that you can, I recommend that you encourage your students to take advantage of that, what I consider to be a pretty generous late work policy. Students are penalized, but they can earn up to 60% of the score that they earned on that assignment. So for example, if they earned 100% on that assignment, they can, I will put a 60% in the grade book. So that's better than nothing. Platforms that we use in our classroom. First and foremost is Google Classroom. That's where your students go to every single day to find the agenda, the Zoom link, and all of their assignments. I encourage you to reach out to me and I will add you as a parent so that you can kind of take a look at what your child's doing and get those announcements through Google Classroom. We also use Edpuzzle. We also use Nearpod. So if you go into Google Classroom, you can click around and see some of those Edpuzzles and Nearpod platforms that your students have been working on. And additionally, during our distance learning time, we have the ability to go asynchronously and synchronously. We always start the class synchronously. I take attendance, and it varies when I take attendance depending on what it is that we are doing. And sometimes I will allow students to, once I've delivered instruction in a lesson, to go off on their own and complete these things on their own. That means they can turn off the camera. I always let them know. I also have a group of students who typically will stay behind, and I leave the Zoom meeting on so that I can answer questions. I think this is wise because you can just quickly have access to me, get an answer to your question, and move on. Number one question, though, is about grades. In my class, grades are weighted with the following scale. So you can see that most importantly to me would be writing and conventions, along with reading and vocabulary. And I apologize, the color is off, but this 20% here is speaking and listening, and 10% is allocated to the final. I think that this serves our students well, and you'll start to see grades have been updated in Google Classroom. I try to update them once a week at the least, but quite honestly, I'm pretty good at doing it more than once a week. So with that being said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to meeting all of your students.